All right, it's going through to YouTube. Just need to hear back from Sean, make sure it's up on the site, and then we will be good to go. Just give me 1 sec, Tim. Sorry, it's taking 1 minute here. Give me 1 second. All right, we are good.
Doctor, the meeting is yours.
Good afternoon and welcome to the ALCOSAN Board of Directors Green Committee meeting. Can we have the roll call?
Darren Kelly,
Here.
Emily Kincaid, Paul Klein, Dr. Shannon Tharp Gilliam.
Speaking. Present.
That concludes the roll call.
Thank you. So what is the first order of business?
Dr. Gilliam, the first order of business will be informational items. And we'll start off with the Cycle 8 application submissions for the Grow Cycle 8. As you can see on the screen, this is a rehash of the previous Green Committee meeting where I provided a letter of interest summary. These are the letters of interest that we received from the municipalities at the end of March. We received 18 projects. 3 of those projects we invited, where we asked the municipality to split those projects into 2. Those are designated by the asterisks in the number of projects. So at the beginning of May, we invited 18 projects of various green infrastructure, I&I projects, sewer separation projects, where the value of those projects were just shy of 17 million. And then at the end of June, we received 15 of those 18 projects. And what you see on the table is the costs, the preliminary total of the eligible costs, over 15 million. If we bookended these, everything got 15% or everything got 85%, we'd be looking at an awards potentially of 2.5 million to just shy of 13 million. But based on the types of projects where we got applications and historically what on average those projects types got, we would be looking at Cycle 8 estimate of probably about $4.5 to $6.5 million this cycle. It's not an exact estimate. This is just what I'm estimating right now. We will have a final number come September when we put together our recommendations.
Great. Can you give us, I don't know if you have this information, but do you know what the total has been for what we have allocated through cycle 8 from the beginning?
From the beginning, we have allocated, it's a very fluid number, Dr. Gilliam. Because sometimes we award so much money, sometimes those projects get rescinded, sometimes those projects finish up under budget. I think what we put in our public releases right now is approximately $67 million. That number can change based upon rescindances and everything.
All right, thank you.
We have a good bit of money still to allocate.
Okay. All right. Are there any additional information items?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
There's a few. The review schedule, it's hard to see, and I apologize for that. I'm hoping that this just conveys what we go through to do the application review. And for the benefit of Mr. Kelly, the next information item is project scoring and ranking. Now, I will go through this fairly quickly. If there are any questions, please stop me. I'll do my best to answer them.
Okay.
When we have GROW, we go through a thorough evaluation process of each project that we receive. The first step is, we get the application, and with the assistance of the procurement division, we go through confirmation of the receipt. We put it on a server. We notify our reviewers. We have reviewers that are both ALCOSAN. We have reviewers that are with our Jacobs team. Everybody who's reviewing this is an expert in their particular field: hydraulic and hydrologic modeling, GIS, budgetary reviews. We notify all the pertinent team members, and then we begin the verification process and the technical review. This is broken out into 4 steps: H&H analysis, financial, constructability, and then finally triple bottom line and public education. For the hydrology section, we go through, we make sure that everything is in order. Does it make sense? And then from the GIS, geographic information systems, we then take models that we already have and we modify those models to simulate what will this project look like with this GROW project in there. We ask the question, do we have enough GIS information? If we do not, we conduct field visits, and then we go through until we have enough information. Then we go through the hydraulic and hydrologic modeling. Based off of the results of that, we end up getting the amount of flow or water that's removed from the system. We also are able to calculate or simulate the volume of overflow reduction we achieve. These percentages that you see on there are the percentages of an overall score that we give to the each application. And that will be summarized at a later slide, so I won't go into it too much. If there are any questions regarding each of these steps, feel free to stop me. But if I don't hear any questions, I'm just going to keep moving forward. The next step is financial analysis, where we check out the municipality's budget. We do a detailed cost estimate review line by line. We provide each applicant with a template. This is how we want to see it. The more detailed that information is, the better our review can be. If it's too general, if they don't give us enough information, we may tell them that's not an eligible cost because you don't give us the information we're looking for. Based off of that, the municipal budgeting plan is 18% of the score, and then an audited financial statement, which is something that we require in the application. That's 2%. A constructability analysis is performed to make sure that each project can actually be constructed. Now, as you may have noted in an earlier slide, most of these projects are what we call inflow infiltration projects, which are typically liner jobs. Those are constructible. There's generally no issues there. Constructability analysis is typically for projects that occur on the surface. So we go through, we check out the schedule. How soon will it be built? Is there community disruption that is acknowledged? And then finally, do they identify any public outreach? The last part is triple bottom line in public education. We review the application to see what is provided to us, and some points are provided for that. In the end, when you take all these review items together, it totals 100%. But it's these three that really drive what we award. The budget over how much overflow is removed or how much stormwater is removed, and that drives what our match ends up being. And in the end, in November, we will pull together a summary document. After we get through everything, we just pull it all together into a form for the record. Are there any questions in regards to the review process for the GROW applications?
No questions, Tim, from me. Thank you.
Okay, next, all of this gets pulled together, and I just wanted to point out in this last slide, this is all heading towards this meeting in September. So everything that we do all funnels down to a recommendation we will get to this committee in September. Okay, next informational item is in regards to a Cycle 6 project from Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority for 4 Mile Run. Give you a little bit of a background for 4 Mile Run. It is a very large sewer shed in the city of Pittsburgh, Shenley Park, Pitt, CMU, lots of notable areas, the Run neighborhood. We awarded this project back in 2021. Unfortunately, PWSA has found delays, changes. We had, potential reevaluation of the project, and we are going to provide a recommendation at the end of this informational item. This project has been on our radar for a very, very long time. It's gone through many iterations between PWSA, ALCOSAN, the local neighborhood, Shenley Park. A lot of people are stakeholders in this area. What we received was a $25 million project in 2021 with a proposed schedule, which was supposed to begin last year and finish next year. It was classified as both a direct stream inflow removal because there was a portion of Panther Hollow Lake being removed, and also sewer separation where several acres of impervious area down in the Run neighborhood would be separated and removed and out to the system. These two had to work together to be a successful project. One could not be done without the other. We did a very in-depth GROW review. I had one modeler dedicated only to this project, and we had many meetings in regards to what are we finding in here. And what we came up, we assumed that there were 32 impervious acres removed from the combined system. So 32 acres of roadway or anything that's not soaking into the ground. ALCOSAN had performed 4 years of monitoring data at the inlet from Panther Hollow Lake So we had a very good idea as to how much water is coming in from that water source. We also incorporated many previously awarded projects, Whiteman Park and Bob O'Connor Golf Course, which are in the same sewer shed. We also incorporated ALCOSAN's and PWSA's flap gate addition. They installed a flap gate at the end of the 4 Mile Run culvert, and the weir modifications were also incorporated into that. So we had that existing condition, and then we based our award off of that scenario. And what we came up with was that project, removing Panther Hollow Lake and the sewer separation, would remove over 24 million gallons a year of overflow reduction and over 80 million gallons a year of inflow reduction in a typical year. We calculated the eligible costs to be just over $19 million. And based off of all that, this received a maximum grow award of $10 million in that cycle in 2021. And our team at Jacobs, they pulled together the final technical review in October of 2021. This is a map of what the project looks like. You have Panther Hollow Lake in the northernmost portion, very large area. The waterway comes to Panther Hollow Lake. Panther Hollow Lake goes into the combined sewer and comes to us. This was to be removed, incorporated into a new stream, and then that stream would then enter the new storm sewer system so that all the flows in Panther Hollow Lake had a route to the river. And that was very impactful. However, a year ago, PWSA notified ALCOSAN that they were not going to do the Panther Hollow portion of the job. They were going to focus their attention on the sewer separation and the run, and that project would need to be redesigned. Now, back in August, they told me that the time frame was expected to be 3 to 4 months. In November of 2022, PWSA held many community meetings, a community meeting on this project, confirming that there are significant changes to the GROW project and to their project in general. We requested a meeting with PWSA to discuss this, and were informed that the revised project removes the stream portion of the project and other improvements at Panther Hollow Lake.
Tim, did they give you a reason why?
I
From
think
a lay's terms, did they give you a reason why they've decided now, after decades of issues that we've been dealing with down the run, as you know, that where your arrow was pointing, I'm from, and I do have a stake in this. And did they give you a reason why?
there were issues that they were facing getting permits for the stream portion. They did not resolve their issues with the railroad, which they needed to go under. They did not. They were having issues getting DEP's dam permitting resolved, and so they decided to just move that aside and focus their attention on the sewer separation end.
Thank you.
Yep.
Do we have an indication of what the change, how the change is going to impact the anticipated benefit?
Yes, and I will get to that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. From December to May, ALCOSAN PWSA, this was continually discussed during meetings between us. And the constant request was, we need to get this information because this is considered to be a substantial change. We need to analyze this project to see whether or not the changes that you're making can be, how does that impact this particular award? And remember, this was a significant award. It was $10 million, the largest award we can give. And it was for a very large project. Now they're reducing that scope significantly. Is this something that still meets that intent? And so we constantly requested information from PWSA. we did not get anything that we formally asked for. Occasionally we'll get an email giving us, hey, this is what we found, but that's not what we look for. We want the information so we can go through our process and reevaluate that. So they told us informally what the new scope was, and basically it's taking out Panther Hollow. But outside that, no substantial additional information was provided. So we went forward and just went by the assumption, okay, let's take out Panther Hollow from our model and run it under existing conditions, which was how we looked at everything back in cycle 6. How does the run project fit in with only the sewer separation end? And so what we found was, okay, by doing this, they removed 80% of the impervious area that was draining to this project. And the total area to be separated was 94% less than original identified. The big areas right here, these are from the Panther Hollow Lake area. And you can see that these areas were significant. And now we're going from a 236 acre project down to a 14 acre project. And it's not to say that it could not be impactful, but it wasn't looking good. So we ran our analysis, even though PWSA did not give us their redesign, we ran our analysis based on these assumptions, just so we could see what scale we're looking at. And what we're seeing is that the project's inflow reduction, meaning how much stormwater are they removing from the system, up from 83 million gallons a year down to just over 16 million gallons a year. But the key to this was the overflow reduction, where we had 24 million gallons a year of overflow reduction, and that's dropping down to just shy of 5 million gallons a year. Based off of that, we still don't have budget information from them. We're fairly confident that this project has significantly changed. In our grow program guidelines and in our grow agreements, we have language in there that clearly says that if the project is significantly changed from what was applied for, that we will rescind the award. So, it has significantly changed. Significant reduction in the scope. The benefits have been reduced. It went from a stream and sewer separation job to a sewer separation only job. There's a delay in the schedule. We don't know when this is going to get built. And there's still remaining uncertainty in regards to the final design, any associated benefits. We have not received any updated costs, and we do not know what the schedule is. So we're making a recommendation, and we did not take this lightly, but this is a recommendation we're bringing to the committee to ask the committee to rescind the Cycle 6 award, to recommend rescindance of the Cycle 6 award of $10 million to this GROW project. And at the same time, we will be encouraging PWSA to continue working on this project. If they're going to focus on the sewer separation, please reapply for that separation project. Are there any questions?
Madam Chair, I make a motion to rescind Cycle 6 and bring it forward to the whole committee with the affirmative recommendation to rescind.
Well, before I ask for a second on that, I did have another question. Can you go back one slide? Okay, it sounds like, oh wait, I'm sorry. Wait, right there. There is a lot of remaining uncertainty. So final design has not been provided, updated costs have not been determined, updated schedule has not been provided. So the recommendation from the ALCOSAN staff that we move to rescind, that's based on just the information you have in hand. It sounds like there's still a lot of place where we don't know exactly where we're going to land on this.
Madam
I-
Chair,
I-
Tim, just give me a minute. Madam Chair, that is correct. There is uncertainty. There's uncertainty because information has not been provided to us that we have continually requested. What
Okay.
is certain is, as Tim previously explained,
You're 82%.
the
And
guidelines require that the project not change this substantially.
yeah,
And this is certainly not something that we have come to lightly, but to maintain program integrity, particularly at this level of award, it is best for you to rescind at this point. And again, we are going to continue to work with them so that they can reapply
right.
and it'll make more sense going forward.
Okay. Can you go back one more slide? There was another one. Okay, so over 80% less inflow overflow. So that's the place. So it says, based on the information that we have, based on the fact that they are reducing or changing the original plan, it's going to have 80% less impact than it had before. That's what this
Yes.
is saying. And
Yep.
so move forward for me, one. And you're saying that we have already requested this information and we have not received it.
Yes.
Do we have any information on the progress that they have made so far on the project? Do we have any indication of what that project, the reduced scope project? So that's the information we don't have. That's your point, right?
Correct. We do not have the updated design, which when they redo the project, they are going backwards and they're no longer at a fully designed project. They're redesigning everything. That in itself if we something like that in this project, it would disqualify them because it's not at 90% design.
Exactly. Okay. All right. I can go with our recommendation on that. So we have a motion on the floor. And is it just you and me, Kelly? Is there anybody else there?
I do not know that, Madam.
That's correct. It's just the two.
Right. So am I able to second?
Yes, the chair is able to second.
All right, great. Then I will second that. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So the motion to present this recommendation to rescind will be presented at the full board meeting.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And that concludes the action item. We're at other business.
All right, any other business? Okay, hearing none, we have a future meeting date. Our next meeting will be held on September 21st at 2 p.m. So we look forward to seeing everyone there. And the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.